this? You see this? The Table of Terror. Team Ethnic. You better come through against Top Citizens this week.
Gem, this is not this fight.
I know. I just have. I made my pick too. Sticky Hands playing Div 4 as well.
Team Ethnic, come through for me. Welcome to the Div 4 podcast. Simo, have we decided on a name yet for this Div 4 podcast?
It's still more money, more problem.
Mo Money. Who thought of this name, by the way?
Brent Calendar.
That's what I thought.
And he's been replaced.
Where is he right now? Selling tickets at
It's
the
not
Ticket Wicket.
replaced. It's being subbed to 1 week.
He's at Concordia selling tickets. He sends a message saying, I'm doing security at the Concordia McGill basketball game. I go, hey, listen, can you keep me up to date with the basketball game? I'm doing that game on Saturday for my play-by-play. I'm not doing security, actually. I'm doing the Ticket Wicket stuff. So I'm not going to be at the game per se speaking. That's your friend.
It's your friend, too.
He's everyone's friend.
He's not my friend.
Brent's awesome, let's be honest.
Carlton Banks. Carlton Banks. That's what he is. Can we blow up that picture of his from last year's TCO photo?
We have seen way too much of that every week.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Anyway, welcome to Mo Money, Mo Problems. I have no idea why it's called that. The GMK, who is subbing in for Brent Calendar. Simo Dajane, who is in the show somehow, somewhere. I have no idea why, but he is. Welcome to the show, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Let's dive into the opening drive. This is a long show. This is about 45 minutes long. I only found this out like 5 minutes ago, so we'll have to elongate everything that we do today. Opening drive, we got Bronson's against Brothers. Bronson squeezed by in a thriller as they went 21-20 over the Brothers. James Nowakowski, 3 TDs, 2 INTs. Bobby Michaelberg, 3 TDs, 1 INT. Terry Tam, our very own Terry Tam, with 8 clutch catches. Who are you buying as a better quarterback this year, James Nowakowski or Bobby Michaelberg, GM?
I think as of right now, I'm going to go with James Nowakowski, but I think that's on my objective side of things. I saw Nowakowski playing in scrimmages and pickup games throughout the offseason. He got those reps in once, twice a week throughout from when spring finished almost to wintertime. And it's hard not to go with a QB who's that familiar with his receivers.
Okay, I'll give you my answer in 2 seconds here, but to give you the follow-up, though, Alex Holloway, of course, on Frosty Bronson's. Do you think his experience as a quarterback has influenced his play at this juncture of his career as a quarterback?
Invaluably. Holloway is a huge player, former Division II player, Division III quarterback as well, championship winner, has been to multiple finals. Without a doubt, he's an indispensable asset for any QB who's learning.
Speaking of quarterback that no one ever wants to be, Simon Dajane, who would you take? Bobby Michaelberg or Alex? Not Alex Holloway, but
James Nowakowski.
James Nowakowski.
I'll go with James. I hate to agree with GM, but I have to go with James Nowakowski. Last spring, he wasn't playing well at all. He was playing. It was in Div D. He wasn't playing so well, but he really improved. Now in week 1, week 2, he stepped up. He's playing a lot better than he used to be. I had doubts about him, but he's been stepping up, and his team is playing well.
I look at him from where he was last spring in June of 2015. I remember scorekeeping that game in Brossard, and it just seemed like he would go 4 steps and get stuck. Like he couldn't figure out that problem, trying to figure out, hey, how can I get past that next step to become a better quarterback? This year, though, I've seen him play at that position. He's improved, but I think Bobby Michaelberg, with his experience, limited, need I say, but playing with Ryan Kastner, playing at a high level, learning the game from him, has definitely helped his progression at this level of football with Brothers.
Agreed, but your question was not who will be a better quarterback. Your question was who is a better quarterback right now.
Who are you buying?
I'd still buy in. I'd still buy in Nowakowski right now.
Okay, I'll ask you a follow-up. Who will have more touchdown passes at the end of the year?
Season or year?
I'm talking about the winter season.
It's still Nowakowski.
Yeah, still
Dagnus?
Nowakowski.
Okay, fair enough. Brothers, look, what has happened to this team? They were 3-0 last winter season, 2015. Since then, they've gone 1-7-1. Morgan Teifel was their quarterback last year. He didn't factor in this year's quarterback, Bobby Michaelberg, playing. What has happened to this team? They seemed like they were going to be world beaters last winter when we conversed about them, saying they could be a championship team.
Parity of the division? I mean, I feel like there were certain games that the experience that the Brothers have, especially with Connor O'Brien playing for Concordia University as well, he finished that season with something like 9 interceptions, just completely dominated on both sides of the ball. I think that now that the division's been split in 2, you have Division 4A and 4B, these games are a lot closer, and those little errors matter now.
Simon, what do you think?
I still think Brothers are a really good team. They play well even in winter and spring, except what happened really with them is they didn't downgress. His opponents played better, and they lost clutch matches. They lost by a score. They lost by small margins, and then they went on a losing streak. They're just going to pick it up. Now this season, same thing. They just lost by a 1 point. So it's a loss. It goes in loss margin, but it really is a close game after all.
Have you seen the Frosty Bronson's team photo?
Yes. It's basically Minimam. If it wasn't the name at top, I would think it's Minimam.
Have you seen the look of the photo, though? Check it out. Yeah. Check out the photo.
I did. Check it out. What do you mean? Explain yourself.
Look at the photo. Look at Frosty Bronson's photo right now.
It's being retrieved as we speak.
Yes.
While the Weekend plays in the background.
Yes, Weekend's playing in the background here at Sportier Cage. If you're not in the cage, you're not here with the Div 4 podcast for Mo Money, Mo Problems. Look at that photo.
Everyone's happy.
What's the problem with it?
Look at the photo. They look like a half a tree for Christmas, like a white Christmas tree without the top on it.
Really? That's where you're going
Look
with
at the
that?
symmetry of the arms together.
That's what
It's perfect composition.
I actually like the picture. They all look happy.
You like anything, Simon Dash.
No, that's not true. I hate you.
But
You like interceptions.
Simon brings up a valid point, is that some teams actually enjoy playing as a team. And they don't hate each other and they don't yell at each other. And I guess this is probably an example of one of them because I've never seen one before.
Malud Brocasian. Malud win 26-20 over Brocasian. Identical TD INT numbers for Christian Sarantola and Anthony Boschman Freza. 2 TDs, 3 INTs. Kalabowski with the TD reception. LM's defense was the story of the game here and how well they contain the read option of Brocasian. And I have, for the life of me, I don't know why they run that option for it. It's not we're not playing the NFL here, but they contained it and they made things difficult for Christian Sarantola guys.
No question.
Your thoughts?
Look, it's the same thing season in, season out for Brocasian. What they do, when it works really, really well. But teams are starting to notice that there's a formula to kind of unravel that. When Charentola's at QB, it's very similar plays throughout the game, and they seem to be adapting to that.
Simon?
The way I see it is Anthony Beauchamp is playing his second year as a quarterback. He's developing on the position, whereas Sarantola has been playing the position for a long time. The way I see it is if they pose the same numbers, it's Sarantola's regressing at quarterback, and Beauchamp is stepping up and improving and getting used to the better defenses he's facing.
I look at Brocasian, and the thing with them is that when they're on, they're on. Like they are unstoppable with that offense. But I just find that they don't diversify themselves with the creativity. Always running back in the backfield. How often do you see, whether it is Alex Sarantola or whoever it is going to carry the ball on a running play? Never. You don't see that ever. And I think for them moving ahead here, they have playmakers. Use your playmakers in actual passing routes when you're lined up at the line of scrimmage, as opposed to having a guy in the backfield.
I would allow Sarantola to play more as a pocket quarterback and use his arm because he has a pretty strong arm, but he doesn't use it much. He relies too much on his legs instead of
But
using
not only
his
that,
arm
when
more.
you have someone in the backfield, you lose an eligible receiver where you have 5 defenders covering those 5 players. You now have 5 defenders covering 4 players, and
Right.
then the rusher has to make that choice. So if you're going to continue with that passing route on a read option, you're limiting your choices right away.
No, I agree with you. It's a definite, not a detriment to the offense, but you have to have more creativity with the playmaking here. Maybe have a flex as a receiver, make the defense get all confused. Well, what's going on here? Oh, who's this guy over here? Anyway, Anthony Beauchamp, great game both ways here. He pretty much dictated the whole process of how this game unfolded in favor of Le Malud.
Put the team on his back.
Essentially. Is he a guy that we can look at as being an ascending player in Division 4?
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Without a doubt, with his tackle experience, he's an absolute monster on both sides of the ball. Has great field awareness as well. Has great knowledge of the game, and you can see it the way he lines up, takes the snaps. You see he's interchangeable at receiver or quarterback, as we've seen in past seasons. You can put him anywhere on defense. Huge player.
LM, are they a sneaky good team now? Can we say
They're not just sneaky good, Mo. They've been ranked number 1 in my articles
I know.
since preseason.
But the thing is, though,
Simon's article's notwithstanding, by the way, because that's still
But
objective.
the point is-
How is a team who have a championship a sneaky team?
but the thing is, in Div
It's not
4A,
the same team, though.
it's not the same team. But the point is, though, right? There are more teams that have more hype going towards them, where no one really knows about Le Malud as a whole. If you ask anyone else in Div 4,
Well, no
to
one.
name-
You mean yourself, Mo.
no, I'm saying if you ask anyone in Div 4,
They
hey,
know-
name
people
me
know
4
that-
guys off of that team. Do you think anyone can name 4 guys off that team?
Well, anybody. But then we can have the same discussion with so many teams. Name me 4 players out of 7 on the roster. Most people would not know. They would know 1, maybe 2. So your argument's kind of leaning towards your initial statement. So you're kind of using,
Drink your coffee. Longhorns A squad. Horns win 25-20. John Moody 4 TDs, 1 INT. Rob Allen, had 2 TD catches. Yakub Telemac, GM's boy, 2 TDs, 2 INTs. T-Mac is what he's called on his jersey. Did not do anything. The Longhorns we know very well. They've had some pretty gargantuan rosters of numbers, like 20 guys on the roster practically at one point or another here. Have they found the right chemistry of players to now move forward, given that you don't have a Dale Williams, Jay Bowman subbing in once in a blue moon here, and they look much better than what they did before?
I'm going to answer that with a question. In seasons past, what has been the one thing we've always said that the Longhorns severely lacked? So if there was one thing that they severely lacked.
A weapon? Like
Speed.
one...
Speed, thank you.
Speed.
And someone at the rush position.
Well, they found the rusher.
Yeah, exactly. They have Francis Haley now. They
Yeah.
picked him up in the offseason in Kirkland Touch, and it's already paying dividends for them. They're 1-1, but they've been close in games. And
No, they weren't close for week 1. They got destroyed. But that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's how I see Longhorns. Is sometimes they're really good and they're playing really well, and sometimes they're getting destroyed left and right. And they're such a roller coaster team that it's tough to be bandwagon of the Longhorns because they have good seasons and then they end up 2-5 to manage to get the 5-5 to make the playoffs, or they're 5-2 and they
fizzle
don't
out.
make the playoffs. It's tough to get a size on that team.
They have guys. Rosens have played well. Rob Allen we know very well.
Yeah.
Dave Allen. I mean, these guys have come up with clutch plays. Moody's played well, but the thing is, you make a good point though, Simone, that they're frenetic in the sense that one week they look world beaters.
Consistency is lacking.
Yeah, and then the next week they look like, what the hell are they doing in Div 4 or Div C, whatever it is that they're in springtime, and need to correct that if they want to become a better contender moving forward. One word to describe a squad.
Emotional.
Athletic.
Emotionally athletic.
I feel like they let their emotions
How
dictate their
about
play too much.
stubborn?
Wow, it kind of goes with emotional. Yeah, I agree.
They are stubborn.
Because they let their emotions take control so many times that if they get frustrated, they're going to play angry the entire game, and that's when you have the hedge on them.
I score kept this game. I felt like they should have ran through the Longhorns and had steer burgers at the end of the game.
Burgers.
I can see you put on some burgers on your stomach there, Simo.
I think we all are.
GM, you look svelte, by the way.
Thank you. Been trying.
I know you have. The point is that I just find that they have athletes in this team. They have good players that play tackle ball and have played in FPF for a while now, but it just seems like they're so stubborn in their ways of, I want the ball, I want to go deep. But it's like they want to do the flash and dash, but at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, you got to matriculate the ball and use your weapons to the full extent in the right situation.
Take what the defense gives you, essentially.
Yeah, they don't though. Kuptel Mac runs like 40 yards east, then 20 yards west, and then throws it 80 yards north for an INT. For what?
Can we put that on a T-shirt?
We could. 40 yards east,
20 yards west, throws it 80 yards north.
80 yards north.
For a pick.
Yeah. We could do that, Rapovitz. Well, that's T-Mac if he wants to do Rapovitz. Looking at the Longhorns, though, you look at their next 4 or 5 games, could they go on a potential run here? Because their next opponents, 89ers, All Blacks, Renegades, Suicide Squad, are combined 0-8. They could be 5-1 by the time we hit week 6 in about a month's time.
Well, I do like All Black. I think it's a good team. They're just people don't know them yet, but they have amazing athletes on that team, and I think it's just a question of time before they turn it around. So Longhorns might lose to All Black for what we mentioned before. They lack speed.
Suicide
All Black
Squad
is.
as well have that sort of upset capability.
I don't trust the local 89ers, though.
Very fair.
I did their game last week. They lost. I'm blanking on the team who they lost to, but they do not look good. Look, I know Steve Crompton for many, many moons. They have Brian Lariviere on the team, but right now they just don't have that chemistry that's needed to be a team that can win a game or two along the way.
Agreed.
There's also, it's tough. I mean, Brian Lariviere is a top-tier talent, but last season he had Kevin Wyeth snapping to him. While it's not Kevin Wyeth, the quarterback, he still has that same field vision, has that same knowledge, and it's a loss for this team, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, it is, but I just find that with the teams that we mentioned before, I mean, look, for example, All Blacks, I've seen their scorelines. I've not seen them in person yet. I've seen Renegades play, not that impressive. I mean, the Longhorns have that chance to really run the tables in their favor.
Right up until the Show Me Your TDs game.
Yeah, absolutely.
This could be their season right here. These are the building blocks they need to.
They could have a playoff spot within range by the time we hit week 6, week 7 of the FPF season. Who you got, Simon? I'm talking about Longhorns now. I'm talking about Coyotes or David Hurley's pet detective.
Coyotes. I wrote my article was up. I said Coyotes.
No, don't give your pick. I'm saying who you got now in terms of teams.
Coyotes. They're unstoppable right now.
It's because they haven't played David Hurley's pet detective yet. If you match these two teams up, I think that the one-trick pony of the Coyotes, where throw it to Josh Feeder, and then when you stop doing that, you throw it to Josh Feeder. David Hurley's pet detective are going to pick it up right away. They have ball hawks on this team.
They'll do the investigation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Carry on.
David Hurley, also great team photo, by the way. You talked about Frosty Bronson's as a team photo, but
yes.
No David Hurley pet detective.
Well, like you bring up the offense, right, for Coyotes. This year alone, David Hurley's pet detective. Can we go with a better name than this? Can we call him the East Venturas?
No. No. DHPD.
Okay, the Fighting Daves. Okay, how about that? They've allowed 6 points so far in 2 games. Quite impressive. Are they the best defense in Division 4A?
Well, they shut down Recipe for Disaster last week. Literally shut down Applebaum. So that's the one I saw, and they played really well. So I would say probably.
They're averaging 3 interceptions a game right now, which is ludicrous. It brings back just memories of the old Dirty Birds where they ran the table on everyone in Division 4 going undefeated. There's a lot of ball hawks on this team. Gordon Hogan, Matt Bashara, Eric Bashara, and Eddie Martinez. Those 4 severely limit your options on where you're going to throw the ball. And Mike Knopp as well, tackling everything in sight. They have a consistent rush. Alex Angeletti. This is a strong team. This is a team that's built well to win in 4A.
You briefly mentioned the Coyotes 1-2 combo, the Feeder boys, Sam and Josh Feeder. How do you stop them? I mean, I liken them to the Atlanta Falcons of the NFL.
Yep.
Where they will be awesome from weeks 1 through 7, 1 through 8, and then once we get to the playoff territory, they tend to dissipate and disappear into the abyss of the night and never really show up. And the blueprint's sort of out, right? You stop Josh Feeder, you limit Sammy Feeder.
There needs to be a consistent rush on Sammy Feeder as well.
Right, and to his credit, he's gotten better with his reads, I think, as a quarterback. He's able to read a defense better than we
too. Like,
he is sneaky
well
shifty.
In the pocket.
Yeah, but I mean, how do you stop this team though? I mean, this team has put up some points. They trashed TCO. I mean, thank God Brent Counter's not here. I would have ripped them to shreds.
But to be fair, last week they only played 1 half, and in that half alone, Josh Feeder was almost absent. He didn't do much. He didn't get so many looks. He spread the ball really well, and they literally walked all over playground.
I mean, as we progress along here, let's say we're in week 1 of the playoffs for FPF, early April, right now, or late March. Who would you trust more at quarterback? The Bashara-Hogan duo, or one of the two of those guys, or Sammy Feeder at that point in the season, right now?
If we're in March, I would go with Bashara because he's won before and he's proven himself. I wouldn't go with Hogan, but I would go with Bashara. Whereas against Feeder, who really hasn't won that many playoffs games before, and they kind of like that experience. But if we're talking season-wise, Feeder all the way. Better numbers, better offense.
So better fantasy football quarterback now.
Oh yeah.
But you in playoffs, you go with the rings.
Bashara's it's not always pretty, but he wins.
It's even uglier when it's Hogan, by the way.
Yeah,
I've seen Hogan throw a pass while jumping.
Didn't Terry Tan get blamed for their loss 2 years ago?
He did.
Oh, the bad snap.
Yeah, bad snap.
And I recollect that Terry Tam, I don't have bad snaps, right? Was it that or what happened? Yeah, Matt Bashara blamed someone, and then all of a sudden, it just ended up being on him. So, I didn't handle the football well, whatever it was, and Terry Tam got blamed for it, saying it was a bad snap, and then Leo got blamed for it, the Gervais. because he didn't call the
called it a
play.
safety?
Yeah, whatever he called at the time. Do you trust these teams to make a deep playoff run? I think David Hurley, Pet Detective, as you made the point, GM, the ball hawks that they have on defense, it's pretty tempting to go with those guys, no?
What's deep for you? Top 4 or top 8? Coyotes are making top 8.
It's
for
8.
Sure.
Okay, well, yeah, they'll
But
be one of the 8 in. Okay?
Are they going to
So
make the semifinals?
how
top
about
4?
the conference finals?
So semifinals.
So top
Yeah.
4.
Top 4.
I say
Final 4.
For me, it's a coin toss right now. If their defense improves and they actually manage to stop people from scoring 40 points on them, they'll make top 4. But otherwise, they're a top 8.
You agree, GM?
Absolutely. I feel like anything else I say is going to continue beating on this dead horse.
I think with the Coyotes, they've had some early exits in the playoffs. Yeah, there is some pressure on them because this team has shown great regular season success, but now it's time to demonstrate that in the playoffs that they could be a legit deep playoff team this season. Let's talk about Simon's idea. You just gave me the wink, did you?
He did.
You gave me a wink, did you not?
No.
You went like this.
No.
You went
would
like
that,
right
eh?
there, right there.
You would like that, eh?
God. Okay, anyway, Power Index, top 5 wide receivers for Division 4 and 4A. All right, how do you want to approach this, Simon? You want to go amalgamation of both, or you want to go separate and roll with that?
Well, I made a overall top 5. So I'm going with talent overall.
I want to hear
5
your top
receivers.
5. Let's go with the top 5.
I didn't rank them in order though. I just went with 5 top receivers. I didn't rank them, but I have Jacob Peterson, who would probably be number
From
1.
Bearskins?
From Bearskins.
Yes.
I have Dean Dimitriou from 69ers.
Yeah.
I have Laurent Ladouceur from Warhawks. Josh Feeder from Coyotes, that we mentioned before. And I had to toss a wink to my boy, Justin Blanchard, who's playing for me for Friends with Benedicts.
I can't believe he's playing with you.
That's my top 5. If we put it straight up talent, that would be on top 5.
All right, GM.
It's basically because Solid play at Loyola and all the other games are at Hebert. True story. I still
It's
have my
true.
Solid Blanchard jersey.
It's true. Blanchard joined week 2. It's true.
So anyone else that I can add to that? I mean, it goes without saying. I mentioned Connor O'Brien
Yes,
before.
yes,
Fantastic two-way athlete.
Yes.
We've talked about Rob Allen already. We all know what he can do. Aside from that, we're probably going to see a more consistent return in stats in Tony Testa of the Cougars. Gets a lot of looks,
Is
a
he a
lot
top
of reads.
5, though? That's the question. Top 5.
I don't like.
Is he objectively? Is he a top 5 receiver, or on this team is he a top?
No,
5
no, no.
receiver?
Top 5 in the division.
I think
feel like
Tony
if-
Testa has top 5 talent,
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
he
He
doesn't show
doesn't
it
have-
every week.
Okay.
you.
Doesn't show it every week.
Because that's the question. We're asking just 5. I
But
could name
look,
25 good
Here,
receivers.
take
but-
for example, they played TCO at Hebert on Wednesday night. They were down by 2 scores, 3 scores, and Testa only factored in late in the football game. Where was he the first 20 or 35 minutes or so of gameplay?
It's possible that amongst the Coyotes, they are a tightly knit group. It's possible that not everyone
Cougars.
shows up to see. Sorry, the Cougars, my mistake. That not everyone shows up to see the ball thrown every week. Yaruka throw the ball every week.
Yeah.
Tony Testa, Tony Testa, Tony Testa. So the ball gets spread around, and then when it becomes crunch time is when you need to lean on those guys who are make that difference.
What about my boy JF Delos from Jagger? He had only 2 catches for 14 yards, I believe, against 69ers, and they ended up winning the football game.
It's clutch. He's shown it before in the past seasons that he can win championships.
I think no one talks about him. He should be playing in the higher division, in my opinion, at least
Yeah.
Division 3 for that matter.
Yeah.
I don't know why you haven't picked him up yet, GM. He's a future solid
He
player.
plays for Mongoose.
I know, but you can rip him off from Mongoose, though. Eventually you will. Okay. I have him up there. JF Delos has played very well. One guy that no one really talks about because everyone knows who he is. Angelo Garofalo. I think he's finally found a position that he's going to stick with at receiver. 4 TDs through 2 games. I like him. No one talks about him. He doesn't get press credentials from everyone here at Div 4 or overall. I think he can be included into my top 5 of receivers out there.
It makes sense. I mean, we've definitely seen him, especially when he played for the G-Men in Division 2. We really saw a sort of explosion, and we saw what Angelo's receiving talent is. He's definitely a top 5 receiver.
Anyone else you guys want to include into the list?
The top 5 that is suddenly 8 or 9 or 10?
Yeah, top 5 right now. We're talking about 15.
Well,
No,
we
I
might
would
make
say
a top 25
I would
here,
say
guys.
fairly.
Well, what did 4B? Sammy Bake?
Sammy, yeah, definitely.
He has
The
200
4B,
yards.
Definitely. He's been a monster for 2 weeks.
Santash as well.
Yeah.
Paul Santash, he's played well.
He's a Smash Bros. Player. He's a Smash Bros. Receiver, number one receivers for Smash Bros. And they put up months or points because of him.
I'll give you one name no one's going to talk about because of his size. He plays for A Squad, Junior Luke.
No.
6'3", 315 pounds with dancing bear-like feet.
You not only that, you haven't seen an FPF game until you get scored on by Junior Luke and he does the nay-nay.
Yeah. He has feet like a deer. It's crazy.
But if that guy gets the ball, he's not going to lose a jump ball. He's not going to lose a contested ball against him. He's too big. It's not happening.
I guarantee you he would box you out for that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, would he ever?
100%.
He's like, unlike his arms, you guys are both like his legs. It's a lot of meat. A lot of bovine on it.
Are you saying you're like twice your size? Is that what you're going to say now?
He is 315 pounds of man.
Are you saying...
Can we have that one on a T-shirt
Yes,
too
we
for
can.
motive wear?
20 yards west, 80 yards north. We can do that.
315 pounds.
That should be the 1 minute clip for our Facebook group here.
Can one of the punishments for the Box of Terror be wear a quote that Mokan has spoken on a T-shirt?
No,
We could do that.
it would be like, be Mocon for a week. So say stupid stuff for 7 days.
I'll be Simon Dagenet. I just got to master that throwing motion and we're good. Div 4B disparity here, guys. We look at it right now after 2 weeks. Are we seeing the power of the league in Conference B of Div 4B?
Sorry. Come again.
Yeah, say that 10 times in a row. Div 4B, the power of the conferences right now, is it in Div Conference B of the lower Div 4 division?
I would hate to agree with you, but I have to. There's so many good teams in that conference that, like, my power rankings basically that conference. It kind of sucks, but
So you didn't put much thought into the power rankings then?
No,
Is that what
I
you're trying to
literally
say?
just like the conference, like these guys.
Well, look, you have 4 teams at 2-0 in one division, right? Which is Bromigos, Crimson Tide, Jays, and the U. Our boy Shake and Bake, Shaq Lattimore,
With a
playing very
great,
well.
they have a great team picture, by the way.
And Keyport Lock Red Sharks at 2-0. So you have 6 teams at 2-0, occupying already pretty much the entire playoff hierarchy right now.
Yeah, but even in the 1-1 teams in Conference A, like V Nation, Show Me Your TDs, these are teams that are built well enough that they can sustain right now.
Well, we're talking about 1 game difference here, 2-0 and 1-1. It's 1 game.
Yeah, but look at that
It's
division,
not
though.
like 5-0 and 1-4.
In
you know?
Conference A East, look at all those 1-1 teams, right? Whether it's V Nation right down to Mean Machine. And look, Renegades are 0-2, but they're 1 game behind these teams. So they could be in first place by the time it's all said and done after Sunday
It's
night.
also noteworthy that none of the divisional games have happened right now.
No.
So come playoff time, these two wins or losses aren't as big a deal as they would be, whereas in earlier seasons where the divisional games were played earlier.
So could we say, GM, then, that once we approach playoffs, an 8 seed playing the 1 seed is not really an upset because of the records and how close it is?
Absolutely. Compared to past seasons where there was a huge difference between whoever finished the 8 or the 1. Like the year where the 2 1 seeds were the Warriors and the Triple Sixers, and then there was everyone else.
I remember that. What was that, 6 years ago?
2010.
Yeah, 2010.
Yeah.
That's when I started playing FPL.
Yeah, that's when the quarterback index went down.
I had to play Triple Sixers and Warriors in the same year.
Fair enough.
It wasn't pretty.
No, it definitely was not pretty. Simo, you brought this up to me, the lack of scoring.
Yes.
Elaborate with the letter L. What does that entail?
Listen, 3 teams went scoreless. They all played in the venue started with the letter L. I'll leave it out there, but
It's not Hebert.
and it's not
Brassard.
Brassard. So it kind of, I mean, it could have been.
It's Catalonia?
Well, yes, Lachine.
We call it Catalonia.
No, we call it Lachine.
I call it Catalonia.
Lachine and Loyola. It's on the site.
I call it Catalonia.
Please stop. Please stop.
Loyola,
But at the same time, these teams that played at the L fields, the
Catalonia, and Loyola.
Catalonia
Yes.
and Loyola, the teams they played against won, so it wasn't unlucky for those teams.
Well, it's unlucky for somebody.
Every field is unlucky for
All right,
somebody.
so elaborate your point. Jinx of what?
I mean, they went scoreless. It's not like you lost like 26-6. You didn't score a single point. That was possibly recipes for disaster.
so because they played in the same with the letter
franchise
L.
game. Yeah.
So you're saying Lachine, and as GM made the point, Loyola is Jinx then? It's cursed.
Possibly. We'll
So
see next week.
With X-Files, a show coming back on Fox starting next Monday or Sunday night, pardon me, should we call Scully and the partner to come solve
Look
this?
at Lachine because there's something there.
Did you just say Scully and the partner?
Yeah, what's the name of the partner? What's the name of the
Mulder.
partner? Whatever, yeah.
Well, Lachine installed a new wire as well. That's really in the middle of the game, so that kind of tricks into it too. Maybe. Listen, all I'm saying is it happened. I'm just pointing out facts because there hasn't been a scoreless team in Brossard yet.
Drink your coffee, please. Thank you. Simo. How do you get on this show, by the way?
Popular opinion?
Awesome. Unpopular.
Speaking of popular, 69ers. No, I'm not talking about that type of 69ers.
Really, Mo?
Look, it's sort of my beef of the week here with the Niners. I'll ask you this question before I explain why. Do you trust Shea Harbour as a quarterback?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you trust him to take this team, the Niners, to the promised land?
No.
Possibly. Yes.
I don't.
I do it.
Ooh, hey,
Okay.
He can only do so much for this team, though.
I know, but here's my beef, right? And I put in the tease on the Facebook wall that they're the Philadelphia Eagles of FPF. I score capped their first 2 games. In the first half of each of those games, they ran 5 plays to 28 plays for the opposition in the first game. Second game, the opposing team ran 25 plays to 6 plays. Yet they were still up, and they were only down by 6 in both those games. The point I'm bringing up here, guys, is that Shea Harbour had 6 plays to work with inside the Jagerbomb territory.
So
He went deep every single play.
So what you're saying is Shea Harbour is efficient with only 6 plays. So if you give him 25, he's going to be destroying people. That's what you're saying here.
No,
I think Mo is kind of trying to say that all they can do is go deep. So
They can
when
go deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but have you seen these guys play?
but
Why
Simo,
would you not go deep?
Are you kidding me, Simo? Deep every play with 6 plays to go?
Does it work?
No, it didn't work that time. They should have beaten the Jagerbombs.
Just
Oh,
as a
it's
side
still
note, I'm really liking Angry Mo, by the way. Can we bring him every second week so like the rage kind of
Can
builds
we get
up?
can we get
Yeah.
Angry Mo t-shirts, by the way?
Because every week's going to be kind of
Who's the
redundant.
Eagle texting, by the way? Is he texting his girlfriend who's like 2 yards away from him?
I don't think so.
No.
Maybe it's a shite trick.
All right, point being is this, right? The Shea Harbour offense is not working well. You have Dean
Wow.
Demetriou, and that is it.
Well, he's possibly the best player in Div 4 right now.
There's no question about it. He's the best player in Div 4.
So use him.
But not every single time, though.
Okay,
Listen, they won the first game. They lost by a score in the second one. We can't really debate what they're doing. It's working for them.
How's it working, though? The defense is fatigued. They're out there playing triple the
Well,
amount
maybe
of plays.
they prefer defense to offense. Maybe they want to be out there.
Oh,
defense
yeah.
was
Did you ask
That's
him?
it, yeah. Well, let's play defense. No. We're going to punt the ball away. You get the ball at the 1. We'll play defense for the rest of the way. Maybe you want to play offense, Simon. And throw
Well,
45 incompletions.
I don't really play defense, so.
Yeah, thank God you don't. Okay, point being is this, though. As much talent the Niners have on this roster, whether it's Tolino, the Demetriou brothers or boys, Dylan Drake, whoever it is on offense,
Mike Bordes.
Mike Bordes, they have talent, right? But I think Shea Harbour's got to diversify this offense, though. Use the short game.
Well, it's only week 2. Give him a shot.
It's been their MO, though, for the last, 2-3 seasons.
You gotta give the guy a chance to prove himself.
If it works, it works. I mean, if you're going to start forcing plays short and you're getting incompletions anyways, might as well go back to what works for you.
But it didn't work for them, though. He didn't pick up on it, though. The first play they ran against the Jagerbombs, they scored a touchdown. Demetriou's touchdown, right?
Have they successfully thrown short?
They have never. I've never seen them attempt a short pass that goes.
So
that's beyond 8
event
yards.
in the event that they attempt a short pass and it goes terribly, and then they attempt another short pass and it goes terribly, do you advise them to go stick to what works and keep going deep again?
They'll go
Or
deep
keep
at that
trying
time, though. But he just doesn't think in his mind. Let me go short. I can't go to Dean all the time. Dean's not open all the time. You know.
I guess I'm just a proponent of keep doing what works.
Right, but you know what? You're putting defense in a vulnerable position where they're going to play 85%
but
of
this
the
is
game.
FBF. It's not the NFL.
I understand. but
44 minutes of defense is not as bad as if you're playing 99 snaps on
Really?
defense.
When half the league, or maybe a little less than half the league, smoke cigarettes and other items. These aren't NFL players here, Simon. These are
No,
guys who work 9
I'm
to
saying
5
These
jobs.
guys have a positive point differential. So your argument right now isn't valid. If they would be 0-2 with like a minus 20 differential, maybe we could have this discussion. But right now, I disagree with you. Stats point other way.
You disagree with everything, Simo. You realize that, Simo?
Well, you're wrong. So
Okay, here. Okay, before we get to the picks of the week here, their next few games on the schedule. Tony's Championship, they'll crush TCO.
oh yeah.
Like, why is TCO even in 4A?
If they don't crush TCO, you're gonna have to buy a brand something because obviously they pulled the biggest upset.
Their next 4 games: Brocasian, Dave Hurley's Pet Detective, Fellowship of the Ring, and D's Nuts.
That's 3 wins out of 4 games.
We'll see about that, though. Timo, picks of the week here, my friend. You got the games?
No,
You don't have.
You have the
games.
script.
Of course, Simon does not have the script. You're the producer of the show, but you don't have the script.
I rely heavily on you, Mo. You wrote the script.
And you give me script ideas. Anyway, here we go. Picks of the week. The first game we have is Bears against Coyotes. The Yotes 6.5-point favorites, of course. A lot of connections with this team here. They know each other pretty well here. GM, who do you have?
I will take that spread, the Coyotes for the win, as long as you never
Okay.
say Yotes again.
Yotes. All right, Simon.
Already regretting it.
It sucks that I agree with Jim. It really does.
I'm going to pick Coyotes to win this game, but they won't cover the spread. It'll be very close. Frosty Bronson's 5-star, 3.5 points for the Bronsons.
Yeah. I think they're going to win by a lot more than that spread. If it would have been like a 10.5 spread, it would have been a difficult one, but your spreads are too easy.
Okay. GM?
I've seen 5-star in the offseason consistently.
5-star. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I've seen 5-star in the offseason consistently beat the Bronsons. Now that the Bronsons roster is kind of solidified,
With Terry Dam.
not just with Terry Tam. That's okay. Don't worry about it. Terry Tom in the wings right now.
He looks like Brody Jenner right now with that look.
Oh, the ears perked up.
Oh, yeah. Here. Brody, what? Huh? What? Who, what?
Yeah, I think that with this roster in place right now, it's hard not to go with Frosty Bronson.
I agree. I think
Jordan Moses is definitely the more efficient quarterback of the two.
He's unpredictable, though.
Yeah.
Very, very unpredictable. You just don't know which one you're going to get week in, week out. The U Crimson Tide, 5.5 points for the Tide. First real test for the U, making the jump up from Div 5 last year to now this division. They played well, the U, up till now. They've been pretty good.
The U have played well, but Crimson Tide have played exceptionally.
They are a legit team, the Tide.
Without a doubt. In my interview with Pease, where he asked me the questions, one of them included who will be your pick to win each division, and for 4B right now, head and shoulders Crimson Tide.
Roll Tide. Simon?
Crimson Tide's going to win this one, and it's not going to be pretty, in my opinion. I think the U are going to have a reality check, and it's going to hurt, but they're going to bounce back easily. But this is just going to be that kind of game where you expect it to be close, and it's not, and then the U are going to get back, going to bounce back better than they are.
All right, fair enough. And it's finally James Floriani, better than Mo Khan. That's Simon Dagenet's question of the week. Very in-depth analysis on your question.
Well, it was an easy question. You both at 1 week as a host for this podcast. Who did it better? Listen, I have my doubts about James Flo at first, but he did a pretty good job last week. And I have my doubts about you.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate to say it, although like you suck at everything you do, but you're pretty good at this. Like, you can't score keep. You cannot score keep. You should stop doing it because you make mistakes all the time.
I don't make a mistake on your incompletions, by the way.
But you host a podcast decently.
Fair enough. What did you learn on today's episode, GM?
I learned how to throw a deep ball properly. You need to go 40 yards west, 20 yards east, and then 80 yards north.
Simon?
I learned that you're a better host than I expected. But although I did say that already, I would say that GM needs to make his own company in t-shirt making.
I learned Simon Dagenet will continue to throw INTs and incompletions.
Yes.
Good night, Moscow.